like I said, I was selling all this insurance, and Patty and me and usually the four older boys, because they had to be, the boys had to be under 15. And it was a shame that John and Mike and Tim, they were always too old to go. They never got to go. In 1974, I was one of the insurance top guys in the world, England and Australia and Canada and America for Transamerica Life. And we were the family of the year. And so we went to the St. Bonaventure Hotel in Los Angeles. They flew Patty and me out first to Palm Springs. I had one of the funniest golf matches in Palm Springs I ever had. They kept on saying, "Come on, Jelly, come on, let's play golf in this tournament out here." And I said, "I can't play golf. I'm not good enough." "Oh, come on, we'll put you some guys." I got there and I met my three compadres I was playing with. All three of them, they took lessons every week and they played every week and everything. And I thought, this is really going to be embarrassing. Well, when the match was over, I had shot 104. I was low in the foursome. These other guys got 120s, 125s, and one guy shot 154. And I always thought if I played golf and took lessons and played, and I shot 154, I'd take up bowling or doing something. I don't know what I'd do. But anyway, we left Palm Springs and we went into Los Angeles, and they flew you 7 kids out on a plane on the Hoot Owl flight, and y'all were waiting to be picked up, and up drove this big yellow limo. And y'all thought that was the coolest thing, so you got in that and you started driving in, and all of a sudden John remembered that you'd left the tickets on the plane, and so then they had to turn the Cadillac around and drive back to the airport to get the tickets. This time it was way late. Eddie and I thought the plane had crashed or y'all got lost. So we finally got to the hotel and got it all settled in, and next night we were the program at the St. Bonaventure Hotel. Eddie made a little talk about what it was like being married to an insurance man, and everything, and Mike made his talk and made a statement that he was a Eagle Scout and that his daddy had time to spend time with him, and the audience gave him a big standing ovation being an Eagle Scout and everything. And then I got up and I didn't talk much about selling insurance. I talked about mountain guys, Ples Crockett and Crockett Schultz and all those guys I talked about earlier. And they just loved it, especially the guys from Australia. They really liked it. So then Transamerica had rented out Disneyland, the whole place one night for Transamerica Life. And so we went down and all you kids got to ride anything and everything you wanted to. Wasn't in big lines, and just had a wonderful, wonderful time. And next night, I always hated it. I really, really, really hated it. Is that Patty insisted that we go out and see John and Barbara McLaughlin. And they still had, had an event there at the St. Bonaventure. So we went out to see John and Barbara, and while we were out there, the people on stage said, "What a wonderful program this year, one of the best that we've ever had. And just one more time, we would love to have the Jellicourse family back up on the stage one more time tell them one more time how much we appreciate their program." And hell, we weren't there. How embarrassing that ended up being to me, because the bigwigs at Transamerica never let me forget it. I mean, they never let me forget not being there. It was really bad. But anyway, from there we went to Hong Kong, and we won trips to England and to Vienna and to Monte Carlo and to London. In Honolulu, we were going to Hong Kong. 4 youngest kids and Patty and me stopped in San Francisco. Had a miserable experience there with crazy people in San Francisco. And then we left there, went to Honolulu. We stayed in the Royal Hawaiian Hotel, which is the most famous hotel in Hawaii. It was really remarkable to be able to get rooms and stay there. We stayed there 2 or 3 days. And then we left Paul there by himself and flew on to Hong Kong. Well, we didn't know what Paul had gotten into, but Paul had gone down to the beach and he was fooling around. And a bunch of the island boys got on him and got after him, and of course Paul could run like a deer. And he ran and got away from them, and he went back to the hotel and got his stuff and got on a plane and came home okay. Of course, he could have been beaten to death there. We didn't know that. And in Hong Kong, we saw all these different things, and one of the things we always was funny, we went to this place, and they were having this big barbecue, and they having the magicians, and they had all this kind of stuff. And Mac was outside watching all that. And he came in late for the dinner. And when he came in late for his dinner, he reached up and stuck him a piece of barbecue. And we were already sitting at the dinner. And so he came over and set his plate down. And Joe looked over and he said, "God, Mac, what you got?" And Mac had stuck the chicken's head. It had the eyes and the beak, and it had a little chicken head. And so everybody at the table just about went, yeah, that was just about the end of the meal for everybody. Mac didn't know what he'd picked up. So one of the cutest things was on the way back, we stopped at a little village, little mud huts, and the hogs were roaming back and forth through the village. And took a picture of Mac and this little Chinese boy, probably about the same age, but Mac was a head taller than he was. And they were walking down through the village, hand in hand, just like little buddies. I saw that, and I remembered for years. If we could have just turned this world over to those two, then they could have made a world peace, because they were already friends just on first meeting, and that would have been wonderful. I gave that picture to Dot, and I asked her to draw that. She was a great artist, and she lost the darn picture. I'd give anything to have it. All those trips and all the adventures, old country farm boy, pig raiser, got to go everywhere and do everything. It was amazing. It really was.